Let me share with you an amazing idea on Parshas Teruma. The Parsha deals primarily with the building of the Mishkan and all the kelim of the Mishkan. The Gemara in Menachos says, Daf Chof Ches Amud Aleph, Ton Rabbanon, Kol HaKelim she'asa Moshe, all the vessels made for the Mishkan by Moshe Rabbeinu, Kasherim Lo v'Kasherim L'Doros, were good for that generation and for all generations. Chatzotzros, the one exception were the Chatzotzros. Kasheris Lo, Upsilas L'Doros, they were good for Moshe's generation, but they were possible, they were invalid for future generations. In other words, the Chatzotzros had to be made afresh for each generation, each subsequent generation, in contrast to the other Kelim, which were good for all time. Why the difference? Dayan Abramsky is very beloved here in London. He was the head of the London Beis Din in the war years from 1934 all the way through to 1951, one of the giants of the last century. He would give the following explanation. Torah is eternal. The truth is unchanging. But the method of communicating the eternal values of Torah changes with every generation. That's what the Chatzotzros are. The Chatzotzros, the silver trumpets, are the PR system used in the Midbar, the method of communicating to the people. And therefore, says Dayan Abramsky, the Torah is unchanging. It's the same Baba Basra that I'm teaching my Talmidim that I was taught as a student. But the method of communicating it has to be appropriate and suitable for every generation. For example, in my parents' generation, the method of writing in a classroom was using a blackboard with chalk. When I grew up, it was a whiteboard with black markers. I'm now sitting in a classroom in Hasmonean where we have interactive boards. Take a look. Clever Touch it's called. But it's the same Torah that I was taught and that I'm now teaching. The same Gemara, the same Chumash, the truth is unchanging. But the method to communicate those eternal values has to change and be appropriate and effective for each generation. The world of Chinuch tells us that a generation used to be 25 years, 20 years, whatever it was. Now it's every few years. One has to really stay on top of the game to convey the truth of our beautiful heritage effectively and suitably for every generation.